normally. And I think you can otherwise I would say fairly easily. I had some formalizations like that. Obviously, there were a few actual stations over there, so it's difficult for me to work stuff about these open to be used to public around because there's no air over.
Yeah, QSL. Yeah, I mean, I suppose the publication is not really that good at the moment, and you're sort of you're sort of coming and going. But I mean, I suppose that the dipole, it's quite a basic antenna, isn't it? Really, but I mean, it must be quite fascinating, really. I mean, you were the last person I was expecting to come back to me, to be perfectly honest with you, and I was quite surprised. Are you actually? This might be a stupid question. How close are you to the open sea? Over.
We're about where are we? Uh, 16, 17, something like that. Further.
Oh, blimey, it's quite a long way, isn't it? So you don't get a chance to do any ice fishing or anything down there, go?
The beauty of the ship, and that all just that is something. So we're not actually on land here, we're on an ice shelf, which is about 50 meters thick. So we are effectively on 50 meters of ice, floating on the ocean. But thanks to the mainland, so it doesn't really move, it just kind of flows outward. So yeah, if you had a big swim, you could get down to the sea directly underneath it. We occasionally do trips to the shore. I did a trip to a little penguin colony at the beginning of the season, which was quite fun. I could go down there, down to the sea myself, walking over the penguins, which was quite cool to little trip on that.
Yeah, Roger. I don't know if you've seen that recent series of David Attenborough. Well, he was obviously down there somewhere looking at the penguins. I don't know. I suppose that Antarctica is a big place, isn't it? So it's pretty stupid saying it's probably near you. It could have been anywhere, but I don't know if you saw that. Go ahead.
Yeah, we certainly did. Unfortunately, I left the UK before the last event. I believe we actually very kindly shipped the DVDs of it. Kind of really early when they were in the shop, so we could watch it and see. Some of the films that I was done around Borneo when I was there, shooting over the aircraft landing on the ice shelf, so that's one of ours. And I was actually operating one of the films of that. But the things around that, also briefly in it, just at the very end of the 6th episode about people, with a very brief shot of a boat through the beacon with the start. So just before it starts, the freeze frame thing at the end. And that's actually how we started a few years ago.
Curious. I was looking actually. I was looking for the bases. I tend to. I know a lot of them do have amateur radio capabilities, and it's. I suppose it's a bit. Yeah, we're all like it. We're always first thing you look for is antennas and stuff like that. But I must admit, I don't think it was quite a good enough shot. But that series was absolutely fabulous. I mean, apparently they sat there. I think it took about 2 years or something to get some of the shots. Especially of the penguins coming out of the water. It was unbelievable filming, QSL.
Yeah, keep talking to that John Tomato service. Yeah, it's very nice photography and they've worked with the crews and what they call the traditional point that they have on their helicopters for the really long range shot. They actually had that message on a boat that was running a runway. But that was a very high speed photography. I don't know if she typically like a trains or something like that, with safety photography, some really nice stuff. Like one of the other ones, so with the prime, the kind of prime footprint going down to the seafront of the boat. So yeah, I think that was shot me on that moto. Yeah, that was my favourite photography of the whole series, Kevin.
Yeah, QSL, Victor Papa 8, Delta Mike Hotel, VQI. I think it's just fabulous. I mean, they were using very special cameras that they could slow really slow down, and some of the the penguins that were coming out of the water, they just had to be sitting in the right place at the right time, and of course they showed you how they filmed a lot of it after, and it seemed very simplistic, but when you see them just sitting there, but when obviously there's a lot of patience involved, and I like the bit where I think they had a big, I'm sure there's a leopard seal or something that was harassing them. And I mean, those things, I mean, I think they said it was about 12 foot long or something, QSL.
Yeah, you're completely to that, but that's something to keep an eye out for and continue to do it. Certainly really dependent. But obviously, the food things they have in the is quite interesting just to see how they do it. It's amazing. I obviously you only see a 10-minute condensed version. So the interesting highlights of the Stephen trip, that's the thing on the ice to get the shot of it.
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah. I just think that I mean, a lot of it is was made by British filmmakers, and it's fabulous, and it seems that they get they sort of just keep improving and keep making better and better programs, and I've been watching one called Earth Flight, and you probably haven't seen it, but I think it's David Attenborough. I can't remember now. I think it is. But yeah, it's that's another one that's been on at the moment, all about the birds, and that's just amazing. They've actually managed to put cameras on top of the birds. They've actually attached cameras to some of the birds, and it's just unbelievable. Sort of 30 years ago, people would have been amazed at what they can do now. Go ahead.
The technology is still on so far that you can have more unmanned vehicles or cameras small enough to attach to a bird and have it just fly with them. We have this certain animal, the miniaturization model, is just a bit unspeakable. And we 10 or 20 years ago,
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's amazing what they're going to do. I mean, I don't know whether they'll come to a stage where they can't go any further, or whether they'll just carry on. I mean, I think there's a lot of things that they want to try and film. I mean, there was a lot of controversy because one of the shots of a polar bear being born was actually filmed in somewhere in I forget what it was now, somewhere in Sweden or the Netherlands, I think, or something like that. I forget where it was now. But they, and a lot of people were sort of getting upset about it, which is stupid, really, because it's like David Attenborough said himself, it would have been absolutely impossible to film the birth of a polar bear in the wild. You couldn't do it. And so, they didn't say anything at the time because it would have spoilt the moment, if you know what I mean. But it's typical. You get a few people who, just for one little thing, they spoil it all by moaning about it. But it was still an amazing thing to see. Go ahead.
Yeah, I remember reading about that one. We should quickly kind of take that aside. I know there's also biography because of purpose of the topic about the believability kind of thing. But yeah, certain footage you can only get or only get safely from either controlled environment. I think it was something like really environment. And the point was that had you tried those, you have to be there in the middle of it.
Your frequency's occupied, thank you.
People realize that. But it's the only way to get a true impression of what happened. Sometimes you can do that kind of thing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think it's I mean, it's like he said. I mean, he said at the time. I mean, they didn't make it. It wasn't a secret. They just didn't say. He didn't say, "Oh, by the way, this wasn't filmed." I mean, because it would have sort of. It was very. It was one of those bits of filming that he didn't need to know. In my opinion, I mean, I'm not the sort of person who would really get upset about that anyway. But I mean, it wasn't. But it was just amazing. It was amazing to see it happen. But I mean, they had no idea when it was going to give birth, so it would have been pretty impossible to plant a camera. First of all, get a camera down there without the polar bear knowing. That would have been impossible and probably pretty dangerous as well. because polar bears are pretty ferocious creatures by all accounts. VP8DMH from G0VQI.
No, I don't think they particularly enjoy the YouTube for the camera in that. They might take exception to that particular thing. But I mean, I thought it was impressive enough, but they did the particular merging cover then. On the front there, high enough that you find again how you can look at the merging cover.
Well, yeah, because they filmed them mating as well, didn't they? And I mean, it's just incredible. I mean, when they showed them sort of almost playing, I mean, they must have been sort of silently cheering as they were filming it, thinking, because this stuff is going to be shown for the next 50 years, I would imagine. But, they must be absolutely amazed when they filmed it. I mean, there was another bit where they filmed some buffalo up in North America, and they filmed the hunt. Did you see the bit where one of the buffalo literally rear-ended the other one when the wolves were chasing them? Go ahead.
Yeah, that's part of it as well. The kind of the face-off between one group and one person, which is close hand again. That's the thing that the rest of them turn around, but the two of the other ones, I think they're good. One of the other shots, which I quite enjoyed watching the games over about the wolves and the wolves try and take the car for the actually. And the whole bird just kind of turned around and said, right, come on, mate. And I just got to face towards down there.
Yeah, I think it's. I'm glad. I mean, it must be horrible for the people who are filming it because they've obviously got to sit through the bits that they don't show us. Because I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm a squeamish person, but I wouldn't like to watch the most gruesome bits where the actual animal is being, because I think wolves don't think they kill other creatures like lions. So I think they just start ripping them to pieces alive, don't they? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. Whether they sympathise one or discovery or not. Yeah, what would you show?
Yeah, I think they just start eating them. I remember watching one where they caught something up there, and I thought to myself, I mean, at the end of the day, that's just nature for you. It's not worth getting upset about because that's what happens. But I'm just glad that I don't have to sit through the horrible bit before you start filming the bit where it is dead, and it's not so bad. But no, it's a fabulous series. It really will. I think Mr. Attenborough will be very missed. Will be missed when he finally departs this earth. Won't he? Go ahead.
He clearly will indeed be unfortunately impossible to get place. And you hear those other people, quite famous on the trying to do wildlife shows, and they just can't. It's the incredible. Very, very lots of these other pilots who comes and it's impossible to replace really having been with it from the start. But so that's life. I had a look at the book for that before I came in here, and actually fantastic photography in there. I don't know if you've seen it, but there's some more back photography about going to the field and some of the field stations there.
No, I haven't seen the book. I haven't seen any. I've just seen the actual television program itself. But I watched all of them. And in fact, I think I might, they repeated them on the Sundays, and it was always worth watching again. But no, I haven't. I think, did you say a book? Have I seen the book? Over.
Yeah, it was a book with all the things, but it was quite a large hardback book accompanying the series with all the additional photography, and unfortunately didn't make it into the film days.
No, I haven't seen that. Do you get any wild? I mean, say wildlife. I mean, I don't suppose you see much wildlife walking past you every now and then. But do you see anything down there at all, or can I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to think what lives down there because a lot of stuff lives up north, doesn't it? Do you ever see anything or not? Over.
too much near Halley. The main attraction really is there's quite a large colony of emperor penguins at the beginning end of the season. They're not here now with most of them gone. But at the beginning of the season, that obviously during the winter, there is quite a large colony of emperor penguins on the coast, which makes it interesting really to see. And you occasionally get some of those smaller ones to walk inland, they're flying inland. And you get some petrels as well, some small petrels, and some small birds. And then at the other further along on the peninsula, very much further north, so again, you don't get emperors there, you get lots of lady penguins, a variety of different seals, crabby seals, looking leopard seals, and so on. And a couple of different types of whale as well, visible from the median there.
Ah, QSL, yeah. That must be quite, must be quite a sort of if you do see some wildlife walking past, quite a bit of excitement. I suppose it's white when you look outside most of the time, isn't it? Go ahead.
Yeah, it certainly is. Often the sky is dark, if I look over the window there, the sky itself is quite dark and grey. And the ground is bright and white. But as well is on the coast, next peninsula, like over there, there is actually some aircraft control tower, which is where we spend the majority of the time. And you can see actually a bay there, so you can also see Yorker. Both of also swimming around outside water.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing. The old killer whales. They're another one that absolutely they're incredible. Did you see the bit where they were knocking the seal off the ice, the little ice sort of berg type thing, and they were using they were sort of doing sort of working in a pack, and they were using the wave to knock it off. I mean, that is unbelievable intelligence for an animal. Go ahead.
I think in that particular case, they were showing a bit more intelligence than its own crew. But yeah, it was pretty amazing tactics for them. Yeah, the full crew in the boat, she flew up to the end of the coming episode. The full crew were in the boat filming it. And the whales came through and tried the same thing with their boat. And you can see about how it's amazing. It's a privilege to see such behaviour before the fruit view. And you're not good behaviour, they're trying to eat you. They're not falling for you, they're trying to turn over your boat and eat you. They're just too kindly to get the severity of the situation.
Yeah, so I know I'd like to. I mean, I always remember watching that. What was that blooming? What was that film called again? Orca the Killer Whale. Wasn't it? It was the one with Richard Harris. I think when he didn't he have his. No, it was Bo Derek when he got a leg bitten off. I think Richard Harris ended up getting his comeuppance at the very end on the ice. Go ahead.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I've actually seen it myself.
Yeah, it's quite an old film. Yeah, it's quite good actually. I mean, I think if I'm right in saying Richard Harris killed caught an orca and it gave birth on the boat, and then they put the whale back, and the whale never forgot him, and the whale pursued him, and in the end caught him and ate him. I think. Go ahead.
Oh, fair enough. You think this the first time he tried, you might take a snipe of the farmer, planting the seed. But apparently didn't get the hint there.
Yeah, it's actually quite a good film actually. If only to see Barry Derrick having a leg bitten off with after the I think they were in a house, one of these wooden houses overlooking the sea, and the orca came in and started attacking it and knocked all the legs off, and I think she fell into the sea, and I think if I remember rightly, I haven't seen it for a long time, but yeah, it's not a bad film. It's sort of a little bit like Jaws, if you know what I mean. But luckily it didn't give orcas a bad name, because I think when Jaws came out, everyone started going out and killing sharks, didn't they? But thankfully, Orca the Killer Whale didn't actually have any detrimental harm. Didn't sort of do anything to harm the popularity of killer whales. Go ahead.
Yeah, giusto cos'è che attività questa soluzione. Yeah, so she has to go a bit further now to find herself an organ. I guess sharp for the pieces so. But yeah, it's quite amazing to see. Very difficult to photograph, unfortunately. It's amazing to see them dancing around at the day and so on. Once towards the end of the season, they actually caught they caught a couple of seals at the end of the season and killed them with a pot. So unfortunately, but there was some amazing photographs.
I think it's incredible how they actually catch the seals on the beach. You know, they come, it's like penguins, isn't it? Is it seals or penguins? But seals, they actually, they sort of come along and you see them coming up, a big bow wave coming up towards coming towards the beach. And then this huge thing, they actually beach themselves and catch the seals. And then, you know, I suppose they're taking a bit of a risk, aren't they? But they managed to sort of get themselves back into the water, you know, and hopefully with a nice, tasty seal for dinner. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. I think that's the third seal in South Africa. And I'll send that message to the words around whether you have to touch them on the left-hand point. So you're welcome to them.
Yeah, QSL. Anyway, Mike, it's just come up to 9 o'clock now. I'm going to have to go off and do a few bits and pieces. So it's been a real pleasure talking to you. I've actually been taping some of this. Been taping some of this conversation. I'm going to put it on YouTube. I've got a channel that I tape a lot of my conversations and put them up there. So I'll put it on there, and then you'll be able to see what I could hear or hear what I could hear when you're coming through. Not very strong, but perfectly readable. So I'll do that in a minute. But it's been a real pleasure working you, and you know, if you hear me on, give me a call, and then we'll have another chat some other time. So I'll put it back over to you for a quick one. I'll leave you with the frequency. I don't know if anyone else will be able to hear you. Be interesting to see. VP8DMH from G0 VQY. Go ahead.
Unfortunately, I've got no internet connection here at the moment. I mentioned before we were moving to the new station, and that's happening tomorrow. So the satellite which provides our internet connection is actually literally paid behind the tractor 16 kilometers to the new station. So long space. I've got very basic email here, via video, but other than that, that's it.
Oh, that's okay then. Well, it'll be up there anyway. So whenever you get a chance, so just Google your call sign, because I'll put your call sign in there, so you'll probably come across it. I don't know how. I haven't checked actually if there's any other videos of your call sign there. Are you the only person who uses this call sign, or are there other licensed radio hams there? Go ahead.
There are occasionally one of the shipments of people who are but as far as I'm aware, this is the first time this stage has been active in a decade. It's the last few years of activation of Harry 5 before the nation actually goes down to Berlin. We do the best of it. So the DMH is all me. Only one or two because I was given like a running around that.
Ah, QSL. Oh, by the way, what sort of radio are you using down there, guy?
Yeah, so this is K3 running 100 watts circle. Just to rescue from a 4x cycle or something like that. That's K3 with a V3 after. Unfortunately, don't be after the I've got my eye on the helicopter 500 watt amp. But it's circles at the moment, guys.
Ah, QSL, doing a good job. You did momentarily peak to a 5 and 3 a minute ago, so I put a 5 and 3 in the log here there. All right, Mike. Well, again, it's been a real pleasure. I mean that sincerely, and you know, it's great to have a chat, especially to someone, you know, to so far away. And I hope we can do it again sometime. So I'll leave you with the frequency there, and I'm on the bands quite a lot. So if you hear me on, give us a shout anyway. So take care, keep warm, keep safe, and no doubt we'll pick you up again. If not before you leave, maybe when you go back again. VP8DMH from G0VQI. Cheers for now, mate. Yeah, cheers, mate. Catch you later, Mike. Cheers for now. I'll put you on the cluster. Well, you're on the cluster now, so hopefully that'll get some some stuff for you. Mind you, it's saying you're in the Falkland Islands for some reason. Yeah, it is saying you're in the Falkland Islands, though. That's the only problem, guy. Yeah, curious. I'm sure people will work that out. I'll probably put another spot on there and say you're in Antarctica anyway. Okay, good luck, Mike, and I hope you get some calls. Cheers for now.